Here is the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for this Monday, January 8th. Taking a look at precipitation over the past 7 days, not that much across much of the Great Basin, concentrated a little bit more in some of our drier areas across the Sierra Front up into parts of northern Nevada, a bit into southwest Idaho, drier as you head further east. You can see that the past week's precipitation has been significantly below normal in most areas. Looking at snowfall over the past 72 hours on the left, we did have some significant snows anywhere in the 6 to 12 inch range across parts of northern Nevada into southern Idaho, much of the higher terrain of Idaho, and even across some of the northern mountains of Utah, finally getting a bit of snow, as well as some of the higher terrain of central Nevada, which has been devoid of snow much of the season. We can see that on the right-hand side, the snowpack minimal across the higher terrain of Nevada and much of the southern half of Utah. Improving a little bit across the Uintas, maybe 20 to 30 inches of snowpack, but still that's barely half of normal for this time of year. Meanwhile, significantly higher snowpacks above normal across parts of western Wyoming and the mountains of central Idaho. Taking a look at our satellite imagery, things are about to change. High pressure, which has been dominating the last day or two across the Great Basin, is moving out. A strong trough of low pressure moving into the west coast. This could pose significant problems for some of the recent burn areas across southern California and Ventura County especially. This system, however, will bring better dispersion, increasing transport winds, and also precipitation to much of the Great Basin over the next several days. So taking a look at that for this afternoon, you can see the moisture with that storm system overspreading with clouds across much of the region. The cloud cover could still keep some areas in northern Nevada, northern Utah, and southern Idaho fairly poor dispersion-wise, but that should be changing. Much better dispersion across our southern areas. We do see on the left-hand side the transport winds starting to increase in some of those orange and purple shades ahead of that storm system. Still light under the inversions across northern Utah and parts of northern Nevada. And also those places which have had inversions develop over the past 24 hours, still having some fairly low mixing heights. Now for tomorrow, that low pressure system starts closing off over southern California, moisture coming through, starting to see some better improvement in dispersion across Utah and Nevada, but still hanging tough across some northern areas of Utah where the inversion is going to be tough to bust through because of the cloud cover overspreading it. Those transport winds will be, again, pretty strong across Nevada and the southern two-thirds of Utah, but still across northwestern Utah. The inversions could keep those winds up on the ridge tops. Mixing heights improving in all areas except locally in some spots that still have those stubborn inversions. You can see them in those grayer shades. Now on Wednesday, that storm system pushes on through. We have a northwest moist flow, but you can see that the ventilation index here really starts to improve. Looks like our dispersion conditions are starting to take an improvement as that storm washes out a lot of the pollutants. The transport winds really start picking up significantly through here on Wednesday out of the northwest. Mixing heights look good. And the Utah Clearing Index, while relatively poor today and tomorrow, really takes that improvement Wednesday, kind of shows all areas improving significantly. So any burns you might have, pile burns and so forth, midweek onwards looks to be a better bet. Precipitation will be widespread across the Great Basin, heaviest amounts across the Wasatch and the Tetons, as well as the central mountains of Idaho, and significantly down across southern Nevada and the Arizona Strip and southern Utah as well. So just about everybody gets in on the act with this one. Now we go further down the road into Thursday. Another weak wave passes on through across parts of the Great Basin. Dispersion overall good, not too much in the way of purple. We do start to see high pressure starting to build in across California by Friday. That's where dispersion will be the worst in the red shade here. Still not terribly bad though, better across eastern areas. Saturday there's that high pressure building. Some of that ventilation starts decreasing as you head into Utah as well. And then that high pressure really starts anchoring in, so we get another dry, light wind pattern across much of the Great Basin, especially the western two-thirds of the region. Precipitation through days 4 and 5. This is basically from this Thursday through Saturday. Starts shifting northwards, confined mainly to Idaho and western Wyoming. And the long range 8 to 14 day outlook, temperatures will be warmer than normal. We don't expect to see any Arctic outbreaks. There'll be some bouts of Pacific storms coming through, fairly high snow levels also, but precipitation chances a bit above normal across much of the area. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.